Today I had the most powerful weed experience I have had in my life. I have always liked the bushland park down the road from me, and I have a few juvenile plants growing in there as well. First thing in the morning I woke up early to watch TV, because I had a big smoke last night and I was feeling dazed. So, after Mum and Dad left I grabbed my gear, which was pipe, weed, lighter, Discman, seeds, and I brought some Osmocote as well for the plants. I turned on my Discman and walked down to the park. When I got to the grow site, I quickly looked around for people and climbed up the rock where my plants are growing. I planted the seeds and sat down on a log where I then had around 4 to 5 hits of this really strong weed and I waited. I felt nothing much for about 20 minutes and I was wondering if it was doing anything, so I had 2 more cones. After the second to last puff I coughed violently and my head spun. I then finished the last puff and put my stuff away. After about half an hour of nausea, I laid in the thick grass and dozed off for what felt like hours. I remember seeing weird patterns and a vision that reminded me that I was falling down a tunnel. I came to it 10 minutes later and I was lying 5 meters away from where I first laid down. I noticed that I had tunnel vision and everything I saw was outlined in black and the sun seemed so bright that I found it uncomfortable to sit in its light, so I moved into the shade. I was concentrating on some magpies that were collecting sticks for their nests. I remember hearing them repeat their calls and I was getting the impression that something sounded odd. Before I knew it, the sound dissipated into the sound of the river flowing and I then realized that the magpies weren't even there, that I was imagining it. I just sat there, eyes half closed and taking in the sounds of the bush. At 10 o'clock I decided to leave, but when I stood up I collapsed back down, so I tried again and jumped onto the footpath, which was a 3 meters drop underneath the overhang. On my way home I heard all of these cries for help and I kept getting the feeling that something was stalking me. I started running as if I was running for my life, which spooked me a lot and I raced up the hill where I could reach the entrance. I made it out and went home to find that Mum was already at home, so I bypassed home and went to the soccer field where I had a few more puffs and then closed my eyes so I could concentrate on the patterns that I was seeing. From that I remember reflecting on what I had heard and saw, so I slipped out of the sleep after a while because I felt that someone was gonna steal my headphones and Discman and I realized that I never had gone to the soccer field. I had fallen asleep in the bush and I was only dreaming it. The dream was the most lifelike and realistic I have had. Conclusion. This was the strangest experience I have had with weed and I will ask my dealer what sort it was and if it was laced, which I think it was. I can still feel the effects after 5 hours of sleeping in the lounge room. I decided to write this while I had it fresh in my mind, but I am forgetting quickly. I am about to finish the rest of it now.